Hey guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Kaylee and I am an online reseller. I sell used clothing that I find at thrift stores and I flip it online for a profit on sites like eBay and Poshmark. My channel is all about learning how to resell and becoming a master at reselling, whether you want to do it part-time or full-time. Recently, I have been making videos about keywords to put in your titles and in the descriptions of your listing, and I think that they've been really helpful to you. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, so I'm going to continue making them. Now, it's actually been a little while. I think it's been nearing a couple weeks since I last uploaded one of these, but I'm going to try to do them every week, and we're just going to go over 5 keywords that you may or may not know about, and if you do know about them, hopefully it reminds you of some specific keywords that you can put in your listings. Keywords are important because it brings the right kind of buyer to your item, and if you put the right specific, very detailed keywords in, you're going to find a lot more interested buyers versus people who will just look at your listing and pass it over. If you enjoy these videos, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to be notified next time these videos go live. All right, so the first word is roll tab sleeve. So a roll tab sleeve is what is pictured here. I'll put some footage or pictures up on the screen here, but basically what a roll tab sleeve is it is a sleeve on a shirt, dress, and even sometimes jackets, where it is either a long sleeve or a 3/4 length that can be rolled up and pinned, usually with a small piece of fabric and a button that allows you to convert the sleeve from a long sleeve to a shorter sleeve. You'll see this look pretty popular in a lot of office tops or even men's button-up shirts. A lot of people like being able to roll up their sleeves when they need to do something so that their cuffs don't get dirty. And I think it's really become a popular style on a lot of business-to-business casual pieces. A lot of people like looking for this because, like I said, it's convertible. So something that you might wear in the winter, you might be able to convert to spring or fall, vice versa. So roll tab sleeve is definitely a great keyword to put into your listing to identify that specific type of sleeve for the right buyer. Next, we're going to talk about cable knit. Cable knit is commonly referred to in sweaters, and it's basically a type of knitting that causes the fabric to raise up and make it become more textured, and typically there are patterns involved with that. I'll put up some pictures here on the screen, but cable knit I feel like adds value to a sweater because of its more intricate design and more work that was put into it. So if you've got a sweater with this kind of detail, definitely want to put cable knit into your listing because there are people specifically looking for a sweater with that kind of knitting. Along those same lines is a type of sweater that has a lot of cable knit detail, and that is called a fisherman sweater. So as cable knit is the type of knitting that's on a sweater, fisherman sweater is the type of style of a sweater. So a fisherman sweater, and I usually just use the word fisherman somewhere in my title, is when a sweater is typically pretty thick, made out of thicker material, and has a bunch of cable knit detail on it. And this term obviously pretty much originated from when fishermen would be out in the cold air and in the breeze, and they would wear thick sweaters to protect from the weather. You'll see a lot of different brands who use the name fisherman or some form of that when naming the style of these sweaters. Some of my favorite brands to pick up in fisherman sweaters are J. Crew, Aaron Crafts, or it might be pronounced Aaron Crafts. I've also picked up some from brands that I would normally think of picking up just because they're specifically a fisherman sweater. I've picked up Gap and LL Bean. So just something to keep in mind. I think that is a really popular sweater that brings a lot of value, and no matter what the brand, it can bring good money and the right kind of buyer. The next word is smocking, and I'm actually going to read the definition to that because I feel like it sounds more complicated than what it is. So smocking is defined as an embroidery technique used to gather fabric so that it can stretch. Before elastic was common, smocking was used to allow for stretch in clothing. Nowadays, I think if they use a smocking detail, they also use elastic, but originally that's what smocking was created for. So I'll put some pictures up on the screen, but you'll see a lot of smocking and a lot of the bohemian styles that are out now, and they're usually accompanied with more gauzy-like fabric. The smocking can be used at the waist to stitch in for a more form-fitted look, and sometimes it's also used on the sleeves to create more of a puff detail. Regardless of where it's at, you can use the term smocking, and I think that a lot of buyers who are looking for that bohemian style, that peasant style, I think smocking is an appropriate term to use that can bring that right kind of buyer to your listing. And the very last keyword goes along with something that we've mentioned before, which is the word nautical. Now, nautical is a term for a style of clothing, the aesthetic of clothing. Someone with a nautical style would probably wear a fisherman sweater, which I mentioned earlier on in the video. Nautical basically refers to the style of being on a boat, out on the water, sea. I use nautical for defining different types of clothing that have what I consider to be nautical features or colors. Typically, blue and white stripe are pretty popular for being a nautical style. I think red also ties in there, but there are less hints of red and just little pops of color with the white and blue. As I mentioned before, the fisherman sweater would also be considered a nautical style. Things with anchors on the buttons or certain kind of jackets that have that I might wear it on a boat or out at sea kind of feel. I'll pop some pictures up here, but I do consider it to be a more preppy kind of style, and I think they kind of go hand in hand. This type of style is usually accompanied with a more classic upper scale kind of look. A lot of people will be searching for this term if they own a boat, if they plan on going on a vacation or maybe on a cruise. I know a lot of people look for this kind of style, so something to keep in mind. When you have something that falls under this category, you might want to consider using the word nautical in your title. Alright guys, so that is it for today's keywords video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your favorite keyword was today. If you have any suggestions on future videos or future keywords, the types of keywords that you guys want to see in these videos, then also drop a comment down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.